So we are here for the NCAA 2026 Division I Women's Basketball Tournament. Talk about the final game, the championship, the national championship, and your winner, the UCLA Bruins defeat the South Carolina Gamecocks 79-51. What a dominant blowout win for the UCLA Bruins. That is just a domination win. What a win. What a win for the UCLA Bruins. What a win. What a way to go out for the UCLA Bruins in the senior class. Like Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, Julie Sledger Walker, Angela Dougally, Jan Neatkins. Like, what a way for them to go out as a senior class. What a way. What a way. I mean, it's just like insane, for them. Against all odds, like nobody expected it. I mean, but can't say nobody, because I mean, I'm not too surprised though that this happened though. When I say nobody, you're gonna see the people on ESPN say nobody said that, Well, they did. They did. They did. You just don't watch them. It was just the people on like ESPN might not have said this, but I did. I kind of predicted this because I thought he could have done this. He could get this, win. Like yeah, would I loved it? Yes, would I love Minnesota to get the win over UC? Yes, because I'm a Minnesota fan. Absolutely. But am I mad? That this group faced all the adversity on through, not just in the basketball court, like off the basketball court, like mental health, just good fit, just everything they went through in life, the person just to get this point is impressive, and that is impressive, and just to work through all the odds, in sport, in life, and make it here, it is just impressive, and they do, especially do it, like they had one more chance to do it, and they did, and that's awesome, they had their final chance ever. You could see like all the seniors, they wanted to win this for themselves, themselves and the team as a whole, they knew that this was their last chance to win a college national championship, which is just even winning one college national championship as a player. It's hard, coaches, players dream of just winning one national championship. As a coach, even, getting like one national championship. It's hard too as a coach, And like Corey Close, she's been there 15 years as a player. 15 years. And that's when UCA did not invest in like women's basketball that often, hard, but she got them to invest in women's basketball and convinced like the athletic directors and the school as a whole just to invest in, use that money towards like some of that money towards women's basketball. And watch, it'll pay off. It'll pay off someday. And that someday is now, that is like awesome, I just love it, It's like, like a team full of like kind of like underdogs. I mean not entirely, because they made it to the Final Four last year, but you know what I mean. They were like disrespected in the media, in the national media. It's like I don't understand why, but I'm glad they're making up for it now. But it's kind of a little too late, I think. Honestly, why don't we hear that earlier in the season? Like, hey, where's UCA? Where's talk about UCA? I mean, maybe if you watch like Fox Sports, yeah, they talk about UCLA, but like and Big Ten Network, they talked about UCLA. Because there's a job on Big Ten Network to talk about the Big Ten teams only, pretty much. Maybe like a few other top 25 teams. But top 25 in the Big Ten and all the Big Ten schools. That's all they pretty much talk about. Same with like Fox Sports. They might talk about Big East, Big 12 more. Because they have the rights to those games. But it's like, they don't really talk about that and much more otherwise. So you heard on there. But come on. Like, ESPN. I don't know why people, disrespect UCLA. Honestly, because, like, if you've seen what they go through, they've been going through as on the court, off the court, all this, and just, it's just awesome, and it couldn't have happened to an even better team, but, I mean, but unfortunately, all the attention went to the UConn Huskies, and Gino Auriemma went to Gino Auriemma mostly, and it's like a shame also because like and maybe if he did he intentionally do that, to get like off the all the attention towards him. Did he intentionally do that to get all the attention off him in that game? The outburst was on. Maybe he intentionally did it. So that's smart. I mean, that is smart, but I will say that is smart. That is absolutely 100% smart. But I also think that I also think that that way it's smart. But then again, it takes away from him all the game as a whole. It took away kind of from because that's all people thought about is after the second game they thought about that game, and afterwards all people were thinking about is Don Staley, Gino Auriemma, this and that. It's like a shame. It's a pure shame that this is the way it has to be. Gino against Don. Like, why can't we just focus on like two great basketball teams? Four great basketball teams. Trying to win a national championship, trying to do what try instead of like talk about hey UConn's going back to back. Can they go back to back? And South Carolina just defeat a dominant UConn team. Instead of South Carolina just defeating a dominant UConn team. Yeah, and yeah, it just kind of did spell the moment. It's just a shame. It's a shame. Takes like why can't we all be like I don't know like Dawn Staley, how she was. She was like cheering up. She was like rooting. She was happy for UCLA. Why can't that be the case? In both these games, like Texas. Like all like you should see Vic Schaefer. He was like you've seen all that. All the stars. They were like they were like sad after they lost. And he was consoling them. That's what you want as that's a good coach. It's a man who knows respects his women. Like I mean Gino sure does as well. But I mean, just in that moment, was he just angry outburst, or was it actually was he in the moment, or was it actually just like take pressure off the players? But it soured it. It really did, honestly. That's a shame. That is a shame. So yeah, honestly, congrats to UCLA Bruins, but I mean, that is awesome. I mean, all props to them. I mean, they are an excellent team. Disrespected by the media, like some of these like fans were like, I mean, people thought like, oh, South Carolina might beat them, or like, they're disrespecting the media, but and the fans might have been a little disrespected, the national attention. But honestly, I'm not surprised at all. They won. I mean, did I think they were going to blow them out? Honestly, no. But was I surprised? Was I surprised in a sense? Not entirely. I mean, look at their Big Ten championship game against who was it? Iowa. They blew them out by like 40 points. They blew out Minnesota in like the Sweet 16. So wasn't their Elite Eight close though? Yeah, their Elite Eight was a point win, so not really too surprising. I mean, so so I mean, I'll also just say about this. I mean, kind of like a shame, like I said, that Gino had to do that. Took away from like a great game. You thought about that in the second game. It took away a little bit. People are also like, this game was like low scoring the second game. People are just thinking, instead of focusing on two great defenses, it's like, people might have thought it was two offenses weren't the best, and it's like, really? Come on. It was an excellent game, So, I don't know. I didn't. But, yeah, anyway. Congrats to UC Bruins on winning the 2026 Women's Basketball Division I National Championship.